From hair to food, lamb chops seem like an already elegant dish, but we're not going to stop there. Chef Courtney Wright stopped by to show us how to take them to the next level. Can you let me know exactly what is a truffle? Because the only time I think I've eaten truffle is when they're chocolate and they're given to me.
So truffles are like I don't want to say they're rare, but they're a mushroom that grows underground. And when you're in Italy, you have to have a dog that can sniff it out of the ground for you.
Is it a dog or is it a pig too? Because I've heard, don't they use pigs to search for truffles too?
I think nowadays they do, but a lot of times they're like dogs that they're using.
Okay.
Maybe just because they can sniff it out a little bit more.
Okay,
you know.
Gotcha.
But they're really good. You have different truffles throughout like the year. You have your black truffles, your summer black truffles, your winter black truffles.
Oh, wow.
You have your white truffles. So this here is a Sparta Groves. This is a black truffle olive oil that we're going to just kind of coat the pan with just a little bit.
Right on.
A lot of times people use the truffle oil as a finishing oil. I cook with it and use it as a finishing oil.
Okay. So does it still have the characteristics of cooking with an olive oil, though? Is there anything else that truffle does to it?
So it just really enhances the flavor of what you're cooking. So whether it's like mashed potatoes, lamb, steak, it really brings out the truffle flavor.
So you could cook a steak with it.
You could cook a steak with it, yes. And
awesome.
When you finish your steak, you can put a little bit of the truffle oil on top just to get some good flavor on top.
All right, so we got some seasoning here.
Yeah, so I have a little parsley, black pepper, and some sea salt that's already just kind of mixed in here. And I'm just gonna put a little bit onto the lamb.
On your lamb chops there. Now, when you got these lamb chops, you've prepped them a little bit since then, so did you trim them up a little bit at all?
I trimmed them up a little bit, trimmed the fat around them, and kind of, cut them, of course. I did not French these lamb chops this time.
You didn't what?
French them. So Frenching is basically the method where you just take all of the remaining fat around the chop off, and you clean this bone completely. So that way it's just this part of the meat here and nothing else.
So that's what that is called, because I mean that's what you think of, I think, when you hear about lamb chops presented on the dish. It's like this, the bright white bone and everything.
Yep.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna just put our lamb in here. Doesn't have to go in any perfect way.
Do you sear those on a high heat then? Do you want to cook them fast or?
I like to cook them kind of on a medium heat, honestly, just so that way it can get an even crust on, on both sides.
Now, how did you know that, like, truffle and the balsamic, because you also have balsamic here that we're going to use.
Yes.
What brought that on, and how was that decided upon?
I love balsamic glaze. It's one of my favorite, from the fig balsamic to strawberry balsamic. Like, I love reducing balsamic. I ran across this balsamic, the black truffle balsamic, and I tried it and I fell in love. A lot of the clients that I've cooked for love it. So I make sure I keep this actual black truffle balsamic in rotation. So these are microgreens. It's a mix of microgreens. So we have basil, we have fennel, there's a little bit of mustard, and it's all just mixed in here. And the microgreens kind of, when you put it on your entrees as like a finisher, you kind of get that flavor of the basil or the fennel.
Oh, okay.
It's not as, what's the word I'm looking for, as potent as it would be if it were the whole, basil leaf. It's just a slight flavor of the basil.
Just a little bit
just a little bit, just to kind of give you that flavor.
And all that combination pushed together then complements the lamb chop.
Correct, yes. So I'm going to flip these over. I'm going to give them another flip afterwards.
Okay. So I know a lot of times you only want to do a single flip, right? But this one we actually do want to have
I'm going to go twice
on each side.
Yep.
Was there any other tips that we should know about for cooking lamb here that maybe we glossed over here as we were cooking it?
You know what? When cooking lamb is so delicate. You want to just make sure that you have a nice oil or butter in your pan. You want to make sure your pan is nice and hot before placing the lamb in, just because you want a perfect sear. When you place the lamb in, you should hear exactly what you're hearing now.
All right.
Just to get that crust.
Well, we don't have smell-o-vision, but folks, I promise you it smells fantastic, and I cannot wait to give this a try. All right, who knew truffles could add so much to the lamb chop? It was fantastic, and I did get a chance to eat it, and it was super tasty.